purging is at last at hand. The day of doom is here. All that is evil, all that are lies, your parents, your ears, those who would call themselves your judges, those who have lied and corrupted the earth, they shall all be cleansed.
America is Fucked, Part 4. Sir Kenas, how do you feel about Liberation Day 2.0?
Oh, I feel so liberated I could just soil myself.
$40 billion,
This is-
Sir Kenas, to Argentina. How do you feel about that?
I mean, the $40 billion to Argentina don't bother me quite so much as the fact that it looks like we have a short squeeze on silver and we have a like what looks to be moving into the gold market.
Yeah.
In other words, there's like, as I understand this, and I will defer to your superior intelligence in these matters.
I have no
like,
such intellect. Basically, the reason I cheat about this stuff is because I know people who actually do this stuff professionally, and I go to those bros of mine, and I'm like, okay, man, just like imagine I'm a 12-year-old, explain to me in simple English. But that's my secret, Sir Kenaz. I'm not doing anything else.
Okay. Well,
Sir Cleveland is here. There we go.
Sir
All
Cleveland.
right. All right. Let's make him co-host. Let's make him co-host. There we go. There we go.
Okay, we got you here. We've got.
Oh dear. We have a blockbuster show. Hopefully, people show up.
Sir Cleveland is with us. I loved your piece on vanilla pudding. It made a lot of sense because I see a lot of people who like to play act at being survivalists that forget that maybe the most important thing to keep in mind when you're stuck in a bunker and you don't know when you're going to be able to come out is keeping morale up. And
Bingo.
You picked that up decades ago. There's still people who are play acting at being survivalists who don't have that yet.
Excellent. Yeah, that's exactly right. Sir Cleveland,
Brother
I sent you.
Najjii is with us.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we're gonna have a good show. Okay, Sir Cleveland, I sent you a request. If you didn't receive it, send me a request, please, to speak. So the way you do it is at the bottom left, you should see like a microphone button, and it should say request to speak. So if you send that to me, I can make you a speaker, or I can send you an invite. Okay, I can make Brother Najjii speaker. You know what? I'll make Brother Najjii co-host as well. Okay, Sir Cleveland is co-host. Okay, perfect. Brother Najjii, please accept.
Fantastic.
How's that? Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?
We got you, Sir Cleveland. Welcome, Great. welcome. It's the end of the world as we know it. So like and subscribe.
Brother Najjii, how does it feel?
Sir, I would like to I would give the floor to Cleveland Blakemore. He's my elder, and I respect him, and so I would give him the floor first, and then I will express myself in the most heinous of terms.
How liberated do you guys feel right now? It's 4 a.m. right now where I'm at, but I'm just like enjoying this. Like gold moved like $100 in a single day, man. What the fuck is happening over there? America, are you all right? America, are you all right?
Yeah. Looks like the smart money is moving out. It's moving out.
Yeah, rapidly.
Insiders know something's up.
I gotta send you, Jen, something. Sometimes pictures are worth 1,000 words. So let me send you, Jen, something. All right, let me send it to you because then you'll understand what the fuck is happening. So
as you send that, let me just comment really fast. I mean, you guys remember like the whole last decade, the entire neoliberal consensus was like in America, the great cope was, the Chinese billionaires and millionaires, whenever they get the chance, they flood their money into American investments and they flee to America, and it's like the exact opposite is happening right now. The exact opposite. It's like everyone is.
They're literally just sell them opium. They love that stuff.
Yeah.
Hey,
man.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah. Can you guys, gents, see what I shared from Sir Carolina Lion?
I'm looking at the post from Sir Carolina Lion. I mean, this.
That's where
just
we're at, gents. That's where we're at.
In the in the in the in the podcast replies, or where is it?
Okay, you know what? Hang on a second. Let me copy link. Let me go to chat. All right. Let me share it like this. Sometimes people might have a hard time
Oh,
seeing where it's
I'm
at.
sorry. Yeah, no, it updated. I see it. I see it.
Yeah, I'm saying,
Okay.
like, now, can somebody here? I was saying this to on off before everybody got here. It appears that there is this great demand for silver and gold, and much of the silver and gold that should be around and available doesn't seem to be there.
No, no.
Well, we all
Basically,
saw Mr.
ba- ba-
Goldfinger, James
y-
Bond. So
yeah. Basically, right now, let me see what the silver spot price is. Silver spot price.
it's like 53.80, I think.
Silver price today. Okay, 53.76. All right, so one of these nerds, and he's one of my bros. I asked him, okay, explain to me how the London, metal exchange works, and he basically said, um, whenever people buy stuff, it's one of the big metal exchanges, and they have to give you physical delivery. There's all these paper ounces that exist on paper that's supposed to actually exist and represent real silver. It actually doesn't. Um, their actual inventory, if I had to guess, not guess rather, but actually, let me send this to you, gents, as well, because this will give you an idea of what the fuck we're actually talking about. I gotta send all the proper stuff to you, gents. Okay, scroll down, scroll down. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna read this out to you. I'm gonna read this out to you, gents. But before that, let me share to spaces, share to space, and let me send this via copy link. All right, and then we go there, and then we post reply. All right. Okay, apologies. Sometimes you gotta like make sure everyone has a copy of what I'm sending. Okay, so Eric Young. Eric Young is one of these like silver gold people. All right. Eric Young. Uh earlier this morning, like about 12 hours ago. Okay. There are 173 million troy ounces. So troy ounce is about 31 grams of physical silver at the COMEX registered vault. Silver that's issued a warrant ready for delivery. That's basically what he's talking about. Robert Gottlieb, the ex JP Morgan executive for their bullion bank, said that in order for the LBMA to have any sort of normality, LBMA is the London base metals exchange, guys, the guys who send the silver out, it needs to import an additional 150 million troy ounces of physical silver. By the way, I'll repeat that again. 173 million physical, and they need what? An additional 150 million troy ounces. Okay, that's 88% of the entire COMEX registered vault silver. The LBMA needs to import 88% of the entire COMEX registered vault physical silver to resolve this current crisis if they insist on capping the silver price below $60 per ounce. By the way, I did some mathematics. If you gents want to know what the other numbers are. So, okay, so if London wants to control the price and they're like, we're going to keep it under $60, they need an additional 150 million ounces. What the fuck does that mean? Well, it basically means if you look at, I'm going to say, the top 10 holders of silver in terms of country, right? Those guys have enough of that silver, but the remaining 183 countries don't. So, all right, that's the first point. The second point, let me quickly pull this up. All right, so I use Wolfram Mathematica. I use some other modeling software. It's a very simple model. I basically asked a very simple question, which is that, okay, to keep the price under $60, what would you need? You would need an additional 150 million troy ounces. Okay, what would it be for $70, $80, $90, and
Oh
$100?
God.
Okay, so
So
these are
future
the
modeling.
results.
Yes.
Yeah. So these are the give me a second, gents. I gotta set this up. Copy paste. All right. That's the table. By the way, Sir Cleveland, this is how much silver they need to control the prices. Like actual silver to deliver to people, right? And this is the
Yeah.
reason why, by the way. Right now the Americans are filling up their planes with silver, flying it to London to give to the LBMA, And then the LBM is like, thank you so much, America. Thank you for the silver. And then what happens to the silver? It goes straight to Shanghai and it goes straight to New Delhi. That's literally happening right now. It's happening right now. And that's the table.
Gary North, the guy that drummed up the Y2K panic.
Yeah.
You ever heard of him? Yeah. He
Yeah.
died a while back. But his whole life, he was constantly shrieking that not only was gold a fractional reserve currency, like the banks, where only about 10% was actually in existence, and the other 90% was a shell game.
Yeah.
They were constantly moving it around, and it was on demand just for people who wanted to cash out. But he also said that silver too was another fractional reserve currency. All over the world, people held silver stocks that were not representing any physical silver anywhere. And he predicted if there was a run on silver or gold, the world economy would collapse when people realized that this grand insurance that they'd spent millions or even billions on didn't exist. It was just a piece of paper, just like the currency itself.
Yeah, he's correct.
Well, I would just add, I mean, to that point, Sir Cleveland, there's a reason why people invest in security for, let's say, their Bitcoin, which we don't have to talk about right now, but their own, their own holdings. They can get certain devices that secure their Bitcoin. There's a reason why you're allowed to literally buy bars of gold versus people market to you, here's physical gold
Right.
versus here's GLD stock, right?
Right.
And there's a and it was lost on most people. I remember during 2020, during the early months of the pandemic, people there was this stock called JNUG. It was the gold miners derivative. So it was essentially a collection of gold miners stocks, and it was a 3x or like 5x leveraged derivative of those miners. And everyone was throwing their money in there, and it went up like, I don't know, 20x in 2 months. And so all the people who got all the stimulus checks were just like gambling on it because they were like, holy crap, like, let's go to the moon. This is better than Bitcoin.
Sir Cleveland. Exactly, brother Najjii. And Sir Cleveland, I just posted something. Exeter's pyramid. Have a look at it, Sir Cleveland. I think you know what it is. Yes, but it's the thing. It's the thing that allows for money and credit to exist in the first place. So it's an inverted pyramid. But you can have a look at it, Sir Cleveland. Just go to the chat for this spaces, and you'll see it. It's the latest comment, basically. So
so essentially, if those things don't actually exist, then we are in a a 2007 bubble times 10. Like it's crazy.
You gents want to see something? You gents want to see something very, very doomful? You gents want to see something very, very doomful?
Okay. Why? Of course we do. We're
no,
the doom guys.
No, enough. No, we don't. Enough. We definitely want to see something. We want to see roses and copium. We need your copium.
You need the copium? All right. Let me go. Let me go to
the pyramid. I looked at the pyramid enough, and I was just about to mention derivatives.
Yeah.
Once gold completely fails, then silver fails. People say, "Well, luckily, I've still got a lot in the derivatives." I can get it.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
You're gonna have like fucking like what's the name of that guy? You're gonna have Emmanuel Macron, the president of France. He's like, yeah, I can't even form a government. Every 1 month, the prime minister resigns, and like, oh, what was that? Our banks failed, and our bonds collapsed, and everyone dumped all our bonds. Don't worry, guys, we got a bunch of derivatives, man. Like, oh, we don't have any gold and silver left in the vaults. China bought all of that. India bought all of that. Don't worry, guys, we got a bunch of derivatives left.
Yeah. Swiss Bank is holding them, and they only collapsed into 2023. It's been 2 years, guys. No,
all the Swiss gold is gone. By the way, like in the last 24 years, all the Swiss gold was bought up by Russia and China. It's all in their vaults now.
all the gold that China bought from the United States because of all the debt that they hold to the U.S.
Yeah.
So somebody decided to drill into it once they got it over in China.
Yeah.
It's all tungsten. It was all tungsten bars,
Yeah.
spray painted gold, and they
Nice.
bought a lot of it. And it's put off the U.S.-China relationship right there for years when they found out that the United States itself didn't have any gold, and the gold they sold them from Fort Knox was in fact tungsten bars. So
Yeah.
they were reduced to con games even then.
Oh yeah. Gentlemen, Gentlemen,
Yes.
can you see the image? That's from the IMF, by the way, International Monetary Fund. You can have a look at that graph and let me know what you think about it.
Let's see. Target price. Percent of comics registered vaults.
Not that one. It's the
Oh, okay.
IMF. Just give it a few moments.
Yeah.
By the way, this is the reason why the gold price is going up. One of the reasons. It's not the only reason, but it's one of the reasons why the gold price is going up like crazy.
Well, the craziest part is that every person over the age of 35 in the United States and in the Western world recognizes, all their financial advisors tell them, but put 1 to 5 to 10% of your portfolio in gold and silver and these various metals that are valuable, they're secure, they'll give you like a hedge against inflation. They preach this stuff, and then it turns out that it's all just paper derivative documents.
Oh yeah.
It
And
really
it's like it's the
fake and gay.
bedrock.
It's all
That's
fake and
supposed
gay.
to be the most secure,
Yeah. Even gold is as fake and as gay as everything else in Western civilization. It's just a big
If you
circus.
don't hold it in your hands, you don't
That's
own
it.
it, guys. Like
Yep.
if they tell you to buy a derivative, you ain't buying the real thing, man. You're buying the
No.
fucking paper. That's what you're buying.
Yeah.
Not your
But if you
cheese,
can
not
look
your
at it,
corn.
if you can see the gold, then you own gold. If you were issued a certificate, you don't own any gold.
Yep, that's right. Oh man.
Well, I mean, you do. You just have to go to Shanghai and beg the bankers there to
Bro,
actually
they're
give
not
you
gonna
the
give
gold.
it to you. Look, man. Look.
I
We
know. I
you
know.
know,
That was the joke.
we
That
know
was the
what's
joke.
happening here, man. We know. Look. We know what's happening here, man. China is preparing to do an economic attack on America, right? Okay, look. Why is Trump sending out?
Groveling and
No.
beg.
Look, bro, that's not what's happening. Look, man. He's sending out the Secretary of Treasury to all these morning talk shows, and the secretary, is saying, Besant, he's saying, okay, we need emergency powers to defend the economy from China, and we need, and this is the word, and as soon as he said it, I knew what the fuck was going on. He said, we need emergency powers, and we need price floors. As soon as he used the word floor, I'm like, holy fuck, America is fucked, right? Because, okay, historically, right? Open up the history books, gents. What are price floors used for? Price floors are used to defend against deflation, all right? And what is currently, all right, you know what? Sometimes you got to be able to visualize it, and when you visualize it, you know what the fuck is going on, right? If you can't visualize it, you don't know what the fuck's going on. What is currently in deflation? Gentlemen, which asset classes are currently in deflation in the year 2025?
DXY.
Not just that. That's true. Not just that, but what are the two main ones? The two main ones. It's like a pop quiz. Pop quiz time.
Well, oil is also.
Yes,
to some degree.
that's number one. That's number one. Energy
Okay.
is number one. Okay, what's the second one? What's the second one, gents?
Donald Trump's lifespan. I don't.
Bro, you gotta give a serious answer, man. Come on, pop quiz.
Okay.
Come on.
Oh, I got the first one. All right. I got a 50 out of 100.
All right. I'll
Yeah.
give you a hint. It's the major American export in the world.
Soya.
Agriculture.
Soybeans.
Agriculture. It's not just soybeans, it's agriculture. So right now, okay, and you gents can go to the comment section. You can go to the comment section. Year-to-date performance, accurate as of mid-October. Everything that's green has increased in price. Everything that's red has collapsed in price, okay? So what do we have here? Natural gas. Sugar, corn, wheat. What else? Soybeans, ethanol, lumber. Guess what, my friend? Guess what? The majority of these things are American exports. It's very clear what China's about to do. Why is Trump asking for emergency powers and price floors? Because China's about to attack, and China's goal is very, very simple. We are going to absolutely crater the price of these things. We're going to deflate them, and suddenly American export revenues are going to absolutely get decimated. What happens, good sirs? Pop quiz. What happens when your export revenues get decimated?
Well, if you're as reliant on like the international markets as America is, I'm guessing what you see is a major domestic economic crisis.
Well,
Bingo.
I would. Well, and I would also add the purchasing power of I would say the de-dollarization rapidly increases. That's what I also would say.
Yeah. All of that's correct. Basically, what would happen is the deficit would balloon. You'd get a giant deficit, and because the deficit would balloon, mathematically, your interest on the debt would climb as well. That's what China's going for. It's going to indirectly attack the interest on the debt and these other things via deflating American agriculture and American energy. So Sir Cleveland, who's away in a mine shaft, he got out right on time, basically. Before the shit hit the fan.
Yeah. I got a mine shaft. It's not quite ready yet. I think that's the reason I've had to use a fake mine shaft
Oh man.
for my episodes. But I am getting there. But honestly, I think it was clairvoyant because I had a feeling this was coming soon.
Yeah.
I had a feeling in 2020
Yeah.
Yeah.
when the COVID was drying up, that fake hoax was drying up.
Yeah.
I began to think something really bad is coming,
Oh yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
the collapse that should have come in 2008
Yeah.
is going to come now soon, and it's going to be a lot worse than if they had not done the huge bailout in 2008.
Yeah.
That's the thing about markets is when an economy gets really sick,
Yeah.
the best thing you can do is to let it reset itself. But if the government pitches in and pays off all the con men who've bankrupted it, you're just setting yourself up for an even bigger fall. And looks like that's coming now.
Yeah. The corruption in the system has only exponentially risen since 2008. I mean, in
You
my
can
opinion.
imagine if you're a con man and you have a massive grift that you run successfully and pull down the money. And when you get caught and it's about to cause a massive collapse, instead the government comes in and has a massive bailout, you can see that you're going to grow even bolder. You're going to get even more criminal. And your next swindle, you'll try to make it 10 times as big as the previous one. So there's nothing to reset human behavior, no Darwinian selection to eliminate people who do not play fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
I
think
mean,
that any of those guys went out of business in 2008. They just laughed and said, let's go to lunch. The government has said they're going to pick up all that debt we created and they're going to pay off our losses. So nothing to worry about. It's business as usual.
yeah, and let's just outline what does actually taking your medicine entail during a financial collapse. It entails massive human suffering. It entails the um, sort of disintegration of business ties and
Right.
jobs and the entire, from the CEO down to the layman. It's a complete shift in their ability to reproduce themselves, and create wealth.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's yeah, I mean, it could have been done back then. It would have been extremely harsh, but maybe we would have came out of it uh probably around now. It
Yeah.
would have taken a decade,
That's
and
right.
maybe around now we would be growing again.
And
But
throughout life, throughout the human condition, a
yeah,
little pain, going through a little bit of pain now, it saves you a lot of pain later. And I
exactly.
think we're
That's
headed toward a
natural.
lot
Yeah.
of pain.
Yeah. We're headed for extra pain. Um, Jesus.
Enough. Are you gloating?
I
It's
am.
gonna be getting painful.
I am simply pondering right now as I was listening to you, gents. You know, people need to understand something. You can print all the money in the world, but if people are not buying your debt, it doesn't fucking matter, right?
Exactly.
Zimbabwe thought, hey man, if we just print a bunch of Zimbabwe dollars, man, we can save ourselves, man. So hyperinflation, right? Like people love to talk about hyperinflation. What they don't like to talk about is, okay, when you open up the history books, what happens to these societies that try to hyperinflate? Eventually there is crisis of confidence in the currency and it deflates away into nothingness, right? And that's what it is, man. Like, enough. Don't worry, man. Like, the American dollar will never go bust because we got the money printer, we got the Federal Reserve. They're so smart. And it's funny because, like, you literally have these people, right? And these are people who are like anti-Federal Reserve. These are like, oh, but enough. These evil supervillains, man. They're so intelligent, man. They'll never allow America to fail. I'm like, bro, you're thinking about it the wrong way. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
Like, you're using the word allow. He's not in control, man. He ain't in control. You know who's in control?
Exactly. Well,
gold and silver is in control, right? That's the fucking
the people who actually have money, the people who actually saved money, they have control. Here's the thing, Ahnaf. If you take that analogy one step further, okay, so now Zimbabwe is completely broke and they have to declare bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Okay, what happens during a bankruptcy?
Yeah.
Well, all of your actual real assets, your factories, your all of that, that's then assessed and valued by third parties who decide, oh, actually, you know what? Yeah, okay, we can forgive your debt, we can erase it, but we're gonna need a stake in your economy. We're gonna need
bro. I got an offer for you. Like in the year 2025, you have all these cattle that are in shortage, and you've got these super high prices for feeder cattle and live cattle, and you can't even feed people, and beef prices and like lamb prices are going up. Oh, you're bankrupt? Oh, that sucks, man. You know what we should do? We should just grab all the cattle. Please, just give us your cattle and we'll write off some of your debt. You can just give us some of your food.
yeah. And then what happens to the society for the next 5 years?
There we go, man.
They eat the soybeans.
America, bro. America and America is headed towards Bangladesh status, man. Like, imagine Bangladesh. No, I'm serious. Like, we had a famine in 1943. We had a famine in like 1974. We had a famine in like 1780. America's gonna have all three Bangladesh famines at the same time. That's how bad things are gonna get. It's gonna be that bad, man.
The West Bengal famine of
the West Bengal famine, America version. That's literally what this is, man. That's literally what this is, man.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
That's what China's going for, man. Like when I heard him use the word price floor, I'm like, holy shit, America is fucked. China's gonna deflate American energy and American agriculture. That's the play, man. That's the play on the chessboard. That's the next thing coming up.
And those are the core industries you need to survive a Great Depression. You need that stuff, especially agriculture. And I reckon China is going to declare war on it, and they are going to successfully destroy agriculture in the U.S. with the help of Bill Gates, who's bought up all that farmland, which is increasingly sitting fallow. It's not growing anything. The American people are in the middle of a squeeze play, and when that phony dollar, that fake dollar, finally collapses, and people turn to these other sources like gold and silver to discover they don't exist either, just like the paper. Yeah, it's gonna get ugly. Gonna get ugly soon.
Yeah, I mean, what did I say in I think part 2, Ahnaf? I think I mentioned, one of the way I was hypothetically playing devil's advocate. What are the way outs, right, for the American government, or what can they possibly do?
Here's a way out. Here's a way out. I'll tell you. Here's a way out. Okay, silver is half monetary metal and half industrial metal. Here's a way out for you, bro. You can pop the AI and green energy bubble, and crash the price of silver. But oh wait, what was that? You're also going to crash Nvidia and the entire stock market.
Exactly. No, so they're not going to do that, right? And I appreciate that.
Oh, bro,
That's all
like
See,
you
possible.
know,
do they
So it'll
have a
happen.
choice about doing that? The AI market was teetering already. People are
Oh
saying,
yes.
guys, you
if
realize
the
this is a
silver
big
price is high
bubble.
enough, man,
Now it's a
bro,
big bubble, and silver went up to $60 an ounce.
bro,
Man, that
bro,
shit's
listen,
going flushing right
exactly,
down the
exactly.
bowl.
Yep.
Bro. It's if the silver price gets high enough, they're gonna grab that Glock, put it in that mouth of theirs, lick it clean, and then pull the trigger, man. They're gonna fucking do it, man. If the silver price goes hard enough, that's their option, man. If they want to crash the price of silver, they gotta pop the AI bubble.
Yeah. To Sir Cleveland's point,
Yeah.
to it. I remember saying this clearly to you. I said, well, they could maybe squeeze the middle class. That's already been squeezed. They've been squeezed since before 2008, but certainly during 2008, they were squeezed very hard. And they've been squeezed ever since. And inflation has indicated this. And so that is really their last play, is just to be like, oh, hey, middle class, you want to get squeezed again? And so, what kind of ramifications will that entail? We already see some of them. You already see people, rebelling against the alt right, not the alt right, just like the right wing pro America, movement that's America first, not MAGA. They're already going, I don't think this coalition is for me. And then you have plenty of, populist leftists who are like, the Democratic Party is horseshit. So we're headed towards the formation, in my opinion, of a third party or a fourth party or a fifth party.
You're
And
too optimistic, bro. You're too optimistic.
well,
That
no,
shit's not
I
happening.
just mean not in terms of that's actually going to fix anything. I'm not saying that it's going to fix anything. I just mean that
Bro,
it's the
listen, man,
disintegration.
listen.
It's
I know what you're saying, man. I know what you're saying. That shit's not happening. Look, the reason that shit's not happening is because we know what's gonna happen. Because the reason we know what's gonna happen is because all the talking people like Charlie Kirk and all these other guys, they got shot right in the face, man. Charlie Kirk got his carotid cut. This is the age of kinetics. Oh, you got good ideas. You want to farm a third? Doesn't matter, man. The guy is on drugs and he has a bunch of hallucinations. He's gonna shoot you in the face. That's the thing. The thing people need to understand is that Exeter's pyramid isn't just about money and it isn't just about trust. It's also about, like there's that funny word, liquidity. When money loses liquidity and it becomes something solid, the movement of money from people to people, the speed goes down, the velocity goes down. When the velocity goes down, you know what happens? People hunker down and they begin to have suspicions against neighbors, friends, relatives, their family members, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So all the ingredients are already there, man. Like, oh, enough, we are going back to sanity, gold and silver will become okay, bro. That's not what's gonna happen, man. If gold and silver become money again, you know what that means? It means the fucking warring states period. That's literally what that means. It's like all against all Hobbesian nightmare. That's literally what it means.
there's also another very interesting point.
Yeah.
The Chinese also just recently restricted the trade in
Yep.
rare earth metals, which they control 90% of the market of.
They put export
Uh,
controls, man. They didn't just restrict it. They
yes.
put export controls.
Oh
Not
yeah,
a
exactly.
single
That's
gram
that's
of
what I
that
mean.
stuff
That's
is
yeah,
gonna
exactly.
head to America. Yeah.
Exactly right. And but so that is um essentially depriving. So the other out. So I'm sorry. To get to my point. So there was one out, which is just squeeze the middle class more. Well, there's nothing to
Yeah.
squeeze. So
They're not
then the
into it. Yep.
next. So the next best thing is, and well, it's really not the next. It's the Hail Mary. Is
Yep.
okay. Well, we'll go to war. We'll go fight somebody. We'll
Yeah,
take their
with
resources. We'll figure
92%,
something
yeah,
out.
with 92% of your combat vehicles without spare parts, 80% of your
Right.
yeah. That
Even
one's
that is
gone, man.
beside. Even
That's
that is besides the point, right? The whole
it,
point, and to your point about China, putting the squeeze on, right? Putting the
yeah.
anaconda squeeze on on the United States, and
Yeah.
actually doing something, right? It's always like, oh, China does nothing and they win. Well, now they're doing something. So,
They are
and they're
doing
doing
something. Yeah.
something, yeah, exactly. And in a very, and this is something that people need to really take heed of in America, especially in the
Yeah.
West in general.
Yeah.
The restriction of rare earth mineral exports is directly tied to various military industrial complex applications. So they're inhibiting the ability of the United States to take its second option, its plan B. They're sweeping the legs out from under the plan B by destroying the ability of the military industrial complex to actually create the weapons it needs in
Yeah.
order to go on a foreign venture. Not that they even had those really in the first place. Like it's not like they started off at like 100%. They were already at like 40%, but now they're looking at 40% and they're like, oh man, I wish I could go back to 40%. I wish I could go back to 2022 when I could
Yeah.
at least have some of these weapons and use them. Now they're like, well, I'm not even gonna be able to produce these for another 5 to 10 years at best, and when I do, it's gonna be less than what I did in 22. So it's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
squeeze
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
on. The Chinese have played their cards very smartly, and the United States has Donald Trump and a collection of oligarchic billionaires
Yeah.
who don't give a shit about really anything except for looting the country. So here we go. Here we go.
Bro, you're wrong. You're wrong, man. They want to send the money to Argentina. They care about that shit. Argentina deserves the money, man.
Yeah.
Ya Allah.
I don't even think
Let me.
like I understand your point. I
Yeah.
don't even think the Chinese care about that stuff anymore, man. I think what they care about is we now have the necessary supply cartel, aka BRICS Plus, to corner not just the American market, but every single Western market simultaneously, right?
Mhm.
It's not just I can corner agriculture and I can corner energy, right? I can also corner the fucking Europeans, right? And I can
Mhm.
do all this other stuff, right? And like I told this to Sir Cleveland like yesterday, but like 20 years ago, when you talked about BRICS, Westerners used to mock you, right? There was this one guy, very, very annoying guy. He used to tell me, oh, BRICS is not a serious country because, like, they have this token African country, South Africa. South Africa's a shithole. When us white people lived there, it was so amazing and it had nuclear weapons and blah, blah, blah. He was like one of these white nationalist idiots, right? And, back then I still put an effort into talking to these people, but I tried to explain to him, look, man, South Africa exports 2/3 of the world's platinum. But back then, I think that number was correct, right? It exports the majority of the world's palladium. The only other place you can find palladium is Russia, and we all know what Russia's relationship with America is. Do you even fucking know what platinum and palladium are used for? And obviously, he didn't know, right? He's one of these idiot Westerners. He just like walks around his society. He just, he's one of these guys. He just assumes that everything fucking works, right? He's just like, oh, why is the tree growing? The tree's growing because that's what trees do, man. He doesn't know that you got to grab a shovel, dig a bunch of fucking holes, and put the tree in, right? So, fucking retard. And so this guy, I explained to him, look, man, without platinum and palladium, you don't have a fucking civilization, man. You don't have cars. You don't have cattle. You don't have certain chemical processes. You don't have industry. You don't have this. That's why fucking South Africa is in BRICS.
Yeah.
And then he
And
pretended to understand
the
what I
smart
was
money
saying.
figured it out. That's the reason platinum's going through the roof.
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah,
smart money knows it's now more important than gold.
Here,
yeah, yeah.
I got something for the. I'll post something in the
Yeah, go for it, man. Go for it. Go for it.
today.
But like man, like I stopped caring about these people a long time ago. I'm like, look, I've done my part. I've told them what's gonna happen. If they don't want to listen, man, they don't want to listen, right? So if they think their society can function as long as the population is 99% white, man, they should try it out. They should experiment. They should be like, okay, we got no energy, we got no agriculture, we got no fucking metals. All of that stuff, BRICS cordoned that off. But don't worry, man, we got 99% white people, so everything will be fine. They should experiment with it. I'm serious.
Yeah. It was a dream. It's a mystery religion.
Yeah.
They didn't seem to understand that, yes, it was a very successful society, the United States.
Yeah.
And certainly Europeans, They were responsible for it. But modern populations, you're not that guy. You are not that guy. Those extremely bright, industrious, religious, deeply religious people, spiritual people, they made it look easy.
Yeah.
But just waking up in the morning white was never going to save you. That doesn't work that way.
No.
But modern generations think, well, it seems to have worked out before, so therefore it'll fix itself somehow.
That's literally what it is. That's literally what it is, Sir Cleveland, right? And I sometimes I save these tweets because like there's like this let me see. Can I pull this up very quickly? I found this the other day and I should read it out, right? Because like it's very relevant to what you just said. Let me go. I just gotta find it. I wish I have a bookmark page. I should probably have bookmarked it or something. And he said something to the effect that you did, right? Which is very, very similar. Re-Christianization. It's not this one. It's not that one either. Expressions of okay. Maybe closer, running away from the. Okay, you know what? I think I sent it over here. Let me quickly find it out. It's a very prescient comment. That's why I'm spending some extra effort to find it. Right. So where are you at? Where are you at? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay. Okay, aging Gamergate child soldier. That's the name of the account. Okay. I know I will be accused of, quote, enemy fetishization, unquote, but I bet dollars to donuts that the average tranny shooter would blow off this person's head without much issue. All right? The only people on the so-called right wing that actually seem to shoot and train now are so-called third worldist brownoid lovers that don't think Israel has their best interests at heart. and you know, like Sir Cleveland, you're saying they just wake up in the morning, they're white, therefore they'll be saved. They behave like cattle, man. I mean, they're just like, if I just walk around in the pasture and I just eat the grass, I'll just grow and I'll have a healthy life. That's all it is. That's it's
all the minorities in the U.S. who've always attacked the white man and his success and suggested that it's not due to his approach, rather that he's white. They're almost as confused as white people are. The truth is, any race on earth who practices the cultural habits and principles that were common in the 1950s in America will succeed. Their skin color doesn't have anything to do with it. If they practice those habits, men are known by their habits. Their lives are determined by their habits. I've got a lot of bad ones, and that may account for a lot of my results in life. But men all over the world, whatever race and color they are, their lives are determined by their habits. If you copied the successful things in the 1950s, you would succeed too. It's just very syntropic. It works towards success. By contrast, the modern American, who has no virtues in common with those people in the 1950s, if they think their white skin is going to help them, they're going to be in a world of pain here pretty soon, because they're going to find out that's just another type of magical thinking. Like people who think they can cause rainstorms by frowning at the sky. That's just doesn't work like that. They've got the causality backwards. If you were white and you practice those habits, that's the reason they succeeded. But if you're white and you don't practice those habits, the third world will probably start to look good compared to where you're going.
Yeah. Okay, so this account said something as well. Okay, aging Gamergate child soldier. Okay, he says a really funny juxtaposition of a lot of these, quote, we are going to fucking kill you, unquote, posts by the right-wing dissidents is that they largely seem to deride training with and owning guns and gear. They just kind of expect one day that the NASDP paramilitaries will coalesce from the ether. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're in the bayou. They're in the swamps. We haven't seen them yet. They're kind of like the Loch Ness monster, and they're coming to save us. Don't worry, they're there.
Oh man.
You know.
Oh man.
Um.
I saw what you shared. I saw what you shared, better Najjii. I'm just fucking
Okay.
laughing, man.
Okay. Okay.
Holy
Okay.
shit.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Uh-huh. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One quick point.
Yeah.
I
Go
would
for it, man.
say. Yeah. To Sir Cleveland's description of the causality backwards. The virtues. I mean, this is clear. This is just. It's so simple, and this is a point that's belabored by everyone, but everyone realizes that this is a society in decline. It's clearly in decline. The boomers laugh at the zoomers. You know, they're like, "Oh, look at these people on their phones all day, eating up TikTok while they also eat up slop on Facebook." And
Yeah.
it's like no one really has a grasp of the steering wheel anymore. I mean, literally no one. And then they look to maybe the institutions of the country. Oh, Wall Street, we have the most best and brightest from all over the world. They come here and they strategize and they come up with
Yeah.
incredible plans to, and it's like, no, dude, they just go buy and sell bullshit using all kinds of levered instruments
These
with
people,
incredible
look,
amounts of
look,
debt.
bro,
Like
bro, bro,
none of it makes
bro,
sense.
bro, bro. Look. These people, man. These people. All right. If you put them, all right. So let's do this, okay? So let's say tomorrow a bunch of people dump American bonds, and the 10-year Treasury yield goes from like 4 point something to like, I don't know, 9 point something percent. All right, and then American stocks are like absolutely fucked, and after that, oh, I don't know, the various credit agencies all across the world, they're just like, yeah, America's debt is junk status. Take any of those Wall Street people, all any of them, right? Put them in that situation, and then tell them, hey man, look, you're supposed to have this very high IQ, you're supposed to be the best and brightest. Here's your fucking situation now. All right, here's your fucking situation now. We're gonna give you all this like resources and money and whatever. How the fuck do you get out of it? You know what they're gonna do? Every single one of them is gonna fail. Every single one of them. The reason
Yeah.
they're successful is not because of the merit of their profession or whatever. It's just because the like, America got a sweetheart deal. People bought American treasuries, right? These people made a killing because of that, and then they imbued that to, well, I'm successful because like I'm the fucking like prosperity maker or whatever. You're not in control, man. You're not fucking in control, man. Okay? Okay?
Exactly.
The Chinese and the Indians are buying up the gold and the silver. They got the gold and silver. You fucking don't. You got a bunch of derivatives, man. Like, if you're not emigrating out of America while this fucking shit's going on, if you're planning to stay, fair enough, man. But be prepared to fight. Don't think free speech and all this other shit's gonna save you, man. I'm telling you right now that that's the situation you're in.
One quick point.
Yeah.
And then I probably should go. I do have to work tomorrow.
No
Thankfully,
worries. No
I
worries.
have a job,
Good.
but
Good for
I
you.
still have a job. And to your point, Ahnaf. Not this morning. Yesterday morning, I planted 5 trees, and it was
Wonderful, man.
difficult. So
Wonderful.
yeah, alhamdulillah. But
There we go.
um,
Alhamdulillah, bro.
dude,
May you get lots of barakah for that. Alhamdulillah. That's amazing.
inshallah.
Yeah.
And but dude, and this is shameless self promotion,
Go
and
ahead,
it's
man. Go
it's
ahead.
kind of a running joke among you and I because we did episode 1.5, I think it was. Um, I told you I was good at estimating, right? You
Yeah.
you asked me how big of a bailout do you think we're going to give to Venezuela? You were like, I mean, what number? And I said, oh, probably 50 billion. And it turned out, right,
Argentina,
literally the next day, it was 20 billion. And then 2 days
40
later,
billion.
they said they doubled it to 40. But so hey,
Hey,
man,
yo,
I'm
you're getting there,
20%
man.
off.
You
I'm
you got
getting
you
there,
got
man.
you're getting there, man.
I'm
They're
I'm
gonna
within the, you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
got it,
but
bro.
now they're gonna double it again and make it 80 billion. And there goes all the tariff
Yeah,
money.
and
There goes
and
all the
like
tariff money, bros. All of it. Take the tariff money, take the tariff money from American businesses and American consumers and give it to fucking Argentina. That's like Trump's communism right there. Trump's not even an effective commie. He's like the shitty commie, right? He's like, I'm gonna do all the commie stuff like price controls, price floor, all that shit, but I'm not even effective. at like getting my goons the money that they need. No, man, I'm just gonna send it to Argentina. I'm like, what the fuck is this country, man? Get out of here, man.
I mean, can we talk about his speech at the Knesset? I mean, if you
I
guys
saw
want
the,
to,
I saw
it
the
doesn't.
speech, man. I
I
saw
don't
the
give a.
speech, man.
And it's clickbait, it's rage bait, it's
Yeah,
goy slop, but
it
at
is
the same
Goyslov.
time,
Yeah.
it really is.
He
But like,
when I saw him speaking, he did not sound like the American president. He sounded like, the Jews bought a really, really big fat ox and they just marched it into the Knesset, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, look at the mooing, man! It's mooing so loudly." That's the thing we bought at the fucking like the cow
dude,
selling place, man. Yeah,
he's the red heifer.
he's
He's
the
the
red
red
heifer,
heifer they're
bro.
gonna
He's the
sacrifice.
he's the fucking
On the
cow,
Temple
man.
Mount.
Oh my god, man, they're so cruel. The perfect
Straight up.
goyim, Donald John Trump. Holy shit.
Oh my god, dude! Dude, he was so dumb that, or maybe he's just fucking retarded and like he's losing it. It could be
He's
that
a
way. I
golem
mean,
for the Jews, man. He's a golem for the Jews. That's what he is.
yeah,
He's a
but
golem
he
for the Jews.
also
Yeah.
called out Miriam. Dude, when he called out Miriam Adelson by name and said, "Oh, without her, I wouldn't," like
Yeah.
she's been like when she calls my number, I fucking,
He's like the cow.
when
He's
she says jump, I
yeah,
say how high.
yeah, yeah.
It's like, dude, you're telling everyone that the Jews control America.
That's
What?
literally what he did, man. That's what the
What?
entire speech. The entire speech was like every 5 minutes, Trump is telling his base, "You got fucked. Thanks for playing suckers. Here's your Phil Ferdigan award. I'm actually controlled by Jews." That's literally what he was doing every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
it was fucking
Unbelievable.
I felt, I'm not even American, man. I'm a fucking foreigner. I felt secondhand embarrassment for Americans when I was watching that
Oh,
speech, man. It was
Yeah.
that bad.
it was dishonor. It was indignity. It was dishonor. It was
He
disgusting.
he wasn't even a person. Like in that speech, he was like pure goyim zok cattle. And I'm like, you know what? The Jews have a point, man. These guys are goyim, absolute goyim, man. Holy shit.
It would seem so, wouldn't it? It would seem so. Yeah.
Oh my god. I really need to, like, one of these days I need to like stop clicking on the rage bait. But no, man, it's just the reason I called this episode is because I was watching the regional banks fail, right? And I'm like, holy shit, it's happening, right? The regional banks are failing. There's credit contraction. There's all this other shit. Meanwhile, all these guys are like, oh my gosh, like the libtards, like the lefties and the libtards. They're like, oh my gosh, Trump is a fascist. I'm like, no, he's not, man. No, he's not. He's just a retard. There's no secret sauce. He's not like, he's not gonna save the country, man. Can't you see it, man? It's He's given $40 billion to Venezuela, no, Argentina, man. It's very clear what's happening here. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He doesn't, right? And then he goes and he's like a good guy for the Jews, and then he's just doing one senile, retarded thing after the other. It's very clear what's happening. China's gonna eat America's lunch, and like price floor or whatever he's gonna do. Like, just open up the history books, man. Those things don't work, right? It's a temporary reprieve, and then the price still does the thing it's gonna do, right? So I'm just like, look, if you're young, if you don't have a family, if you're mobile, get the fuck out of America. Like right now. Just emigrate immediately, right? If you've got a family, right, you got a community, if you're like a leader of a community, you gotta stay, right? You gotta you got responsibilities, you can't just leave, right? So, but the moment has arrived, man. The moment of truth, right? At this point, if the deflationary crash kicks off and the stocks crash and all this other shit, man, you're gonna see true pandemonium. I mean, we're already seeing like the jewelry stores and the gold and silver bullion stores. There's like lineups of people, lineups like 5 blocks, 6 blocks, 7 blocks long. People trying to buy physical gold and silver, right? It reminded me of right before, like the Great Depression, and that you're seeing it right now, man. You're seeing history unfold before your very eyes. If you can't read the signs, and if you're not emigrating when you're a young guy and you're not, you're a bachelor, I've done my part, man. If you want to die in America, go on right ahead, right? That's all I'm going to say there. So it's such a fucking circus, man. Holy shit.
One thing that's funny is I think Trump in his recent, I'm not sure in that speech, but in one of his recent speeches he talked about the Russo-Ukrainian war,
Yeah.
and he said,
Yeah.
"Oh, the Russians are lining up to get gasoline, right?"
Yeah.
And it doesn't even matter if that's
like what he's talking about is what's going to happen to America after the deflationary crash. He's predicting the future, by the way.
Oh yeah. No, literally exactly. I mean, it doesn't matter if that's true or not.
Mm-hmm.
What matters is that the Russians have, I don't know, 40 billion gallons of or barrels of oil under their soil, and they can, recompense their citizens, right? Like they can go and find that oil and turn it into gasoline and give their citizens gasoline. So the line will eventually become shorter. And in the U.S., you have people who are lining up for gold and silver.
Do you
I
know?
don't think they have that. You know what I mean?
Brother,
Like
brother,
it's
brother,
so
brother,
simple.
brother. Do you know what Russia's silver reserves are compared to America?
We talked about it, man. We talked
Yeah.
about it. Much higher. Yeah.
Russia has 4 times the silver reserves America has. 4 times, 4x. Okay? So if you do the math on that, Russia has 40% the population America does. So the average person in Russia, so 2.5 multiplied by 4. What's the number, brother?
2.5 multiplied by 4. This is 10.
Okay. So the average Russian has access to 10 times more silver. 10 times more silver than the average fucking American. Okay? Oh my gosh, enough. Russia's gonna crash. Dude, they can buy their fucking. You know what? Let's say the ruble gets destroyed. Okay? They got a bunch of fucking silver, man. They can use that as money. What the fuck is the Americans gonna do, huh? Like people need to wake the fuck up and stop pretending to be like this fucking He-Man superhero, whatever. America is not in the 1950s. America is in the year 2025. America is fucked. All right? You got to get that through your damn head, right? You got to actually look at mathematics and you got to look at what your fucking situation is.
In the Great Depression, the United States was a very homogeneous country. They had a common culture, common faith, religion, principles, beliefs. Exactly. People were well educated, extremely well educated compared to the other nations. And people came together. They worked together to get through the Great Depression. Neighbors helped neighbors. And there was a lot of collective community effort to see to it that everybody got fed, everybody got medical care. They figured out a way. Today, the United States is a completely atomized, fragmented nation. You can't. People don't love their neighbors. They don't. They don't. They didn't listen to the Bible. They didn't know that God was warning them. If you don't love your neighbors, then you have an enemy next door. That's just the way life works. You have to love your neighbors. It stabilizes your nation and your country. Americans don't love their neighbors. Heck, Americans don't love their children. The children don't love their parents. The parents don't love one another. None of them loves their nation. I see a very bad moon rising with a population like that. Oh, and did I mention they've dropped 2 deviations in IQ over the past 20 years? Oh man, I need to crawl in the mine shaft right now. Right now.
Give me, Sir Cleveland. Give me the DM me the code to your mine shaft if I ever find it. Just DM it to me.
I'll give you the GPS coordinates.
Okay. Brother Najjii, brother Najjii works in landscaping.
Yeah, I do. I can. I'll beautify your entire place. I can do hard.
I think Sir Cleveland doesn't have Telegram, but brother Najjii is like a landscaper.
Right.
He like if you need someone, if you need someone to grab a shovel, dig a bunch of holes, and plant a bunch of trees, he's your guy. He can 100%. Keep doing it over and over again.
I think I still have some living space I can allocate to you right beside the generator where the exhaust comes out.
Yeah. Hey man, I'll take it. I'll take it.
You don't mind eating expired packets of powdered soup? I got thousands of it. Somebody's gonna eat it.
Brother, I'll find a way to make it flavorful. I'm Pakistani. I'm half Pakistani, half Irish. I'll take the spices you got in your cupboard. I'll fix this something nice.
Yeah. My mother in Providence Forge, when I was packing up, she saw all these buckets and she said, "That's the soup you were talking about that's expired." She said, "Why are you taking it with you? Why don't you throw it out?" And I told her, "Well, I spent a couple $100 on this soup when I first got back." from America because I thought Kamala Harris was going to get elected. So I was getting ready for that, but I bought all these packets of chicken soup. So I reckon you could actually probably survive off chicken soup if you had to. Now, do you have any food packed away?
It's funny. It's actually kind of bizarre when you work all like during the summer months and you're doing landscaping and you're shoveling 40 tons of gravel in 2 days.
Yeah.
It's very bizarre. Your hunger goes away completely while you're doing the work.
Right.
And then around 3 or 4 p.m. you get very hungry and you eat one meal, and then that's it, and then you're tired, and then you go to sleep. So I mean, I subsist off of, like, I don't know, 1,800 calories a day type deal,
Wow.
even though I mean, it really doesn't make any sense, and
Right.
I lose a little bit of weight, but not really. I'm kind of just getting lean and mean. So
I tell anybody, if you have a place where you can store food, this might be a good time rather than wait for the economy to collapse and then think about it. This might be a good
Exactly.
time.
yeah,
I don't
I
know.
have I have plenty of cans of tuna for sure, and I have some various other canned goods for sure. I do not a lot, but enough to last me at least a few weeks, if not a month. So
You gotta, Sir
I'll work on
Cleveland.
it.
Sir Cleveland, you gotta work on brother Najjii. He has to learn all the he has to learn all the stuff because like he's not he's gotta like pack and like tuck everything away because
I
like
bought some 32. When I rushed out at 6 o'clock tonight to get back in time to be on this podcast, I went to Walmart and bought 32 pounds of beans.
Yeah.
There we go.
I didn't think I had enough, and even basic staples like beans, that'll go a long ways. And I think it was $16. It was a lot of beans for that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes.
Sir Kenaz, unfortunately, Sir Kenaz, I think he has to go bedtime because it's getting late for him. So
this might be a good time to close.
Yeah. I mean, it's a shorter episode, I guess. Like, we could cap it off at the 1 hour mark. But, like, yeah, I mean, I called the emergency episode because, like, the regional banks are failing, guys. I mean, gold and silver are shooting up. It's very clear what's about to happen. There's going to be a big, fat war, economic war with China. They're going to go for the jugular. Folks, you may think Sir Cleveland and all of us are nutcases, but for once in your life, heed our advice. Pack your rice, as Sir Cleveland says, and, like, pack pack your rice, and if you can't pack your rice and do all that other stuff, emigrate, man. Just get the fuck out of America, because like it's gonna get fucking wild. It's gonna get fucking wild.
Yeah, I have a solid 10-pound bag of rice, and inshallah I'll rely on that.
That's a good start.
That's
People have survived famines in the past on rice, so that's a good start.
Yeah,
that's a good start. So yeah, no, Sir Cleveland and brother Najjii, thank you so much. Sir Kenaz, do we call it quits here? Cutting it short? I think he's just away. I think he's departed. So anyhow, I'll call it quits. Thank you again, dear listeners, for tuning in. It's a short one. It's an emergency broadcast. America is fucked. Part 4. The regional banks are failing. Gold and silver are shooting for the moon. Right? China's gonna start an economic war. Everything is fucked. Do what Sir Cleveland says, or if you don't want to do that, emigrate. So with that being said, thank you again, good sirs, and yeah, remember, as always, the doom cometh. See you guys.
Good night. See you. Have a good night.
Your soul is mine.